we'd like to know is tell us sort of who you are and what your specialty is.
Sure. I'm Kevin Hutt. Been practicing as a financial advisor for nearly 30 years by way of training. I'm a CPA, certified public accountant, certified financial planner, and I have my MBA. So spent a lot of time just in finance, studying it, reviewing it for the better part, again, of about 30 years or so.
What is the biggest mistake? Maybe not so much what is the biggest mistake.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best piece of advice that you would give a consumer right now?
I think the best piece is to, if I use the quotation, turn and face the enemy. Turn and actually do the homework, do the math. I know we're busy. Our lifestyles take up the better part of 10 hours of the day. Get home, I know you're not feeling looking at these envelopes, opening them up, figuring out the science of where you are financially. But consumers have to get serious about this. I always talk about the Great American Risk Transfer. That is to say that employers are now transferring the risk of retirement to Americans. We're living longer. The pension plans are no longer affordable. So now most employers are saying, look, we'll match your retirement today, but then point, click, send, the risk of retirement is yours. So to me, that means that we've got to get serious about our finances. We've got to get serious about saving for our risks, our long-term retirement, taking care of debt. Debt consumes so much of our resources, but being wise about debt, managing our expenses and also just making very well-informed, wise decisions.
How can I say this? If you are already in debt,
Mm-hmm.
what should you do?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you raised that question, because I always say there's the nice standard of starting from a position of strength. But most of us start from a position of challenge, which is to say, hey, I'm in debt. Now what do I do? How do I approach it? I think the first critical thing is to do an assessment. To open those envelopes, see what I owe, who I owe, what are the interest rates, what are the amounts. Draw close to that level of detail. Then I think next to that, akin to that, is doing a budget. Let me do a real detailed budget to see where am I. So you see, the first steps are just assessments. You can't really start to plan until you know where you're at. So now I'm armed with two things. I see what my debt is. I see it's excessive. I see it's significant. I see what my budget limitations are. And now I have to begin a long, hard task of bringing the two together. That may mean that now I'm going to have some conversations with some creditors. That conversation is very easy when I have a point of information. When I know for certain that, hey, I only have this much available to do this. And that confidence is communicated to that creditor, you'll find that hopefully they're more inclined to work with you. At that point, I think we continue just to go to each particular line item and begin to manage the debt. It's a long, arduous task. You didn't get there overnight, but it's something that you got to stay committed to over the long haul.
Okay, final question. What do you think about these financial workshops that ABC is doing?
Critical, because they're, to use a phrase that they're using, which is to engage people. That is to get them talking about it, get them thinking about it, educate them, getting people the right information. There's so much misinformation out there. And then I think once you engage them and you educate them, then you do empower them to make change in their life. So these workshops, I think, bring all of those elements to bear. They're engaging, and that they have found a way to attract people, to get them out. It's on their mind. It's something they're thinking about. And then these workshops have brought to bear education. People that are sharing sound financial principles. And I have found it in talking with some of the people that have been attending these workshops, that they do feel empowered. They feel much better about their chances of the future or managing their finances after experiencing this kind of workshop.
Okay, so just tell me, if you can just give me your feeling about the workshop that you heard today coming out of this event. Are you happy with the result of it? Would you come back again?
Most definitely. think Mr. Hutt shared some very valuable information that's timeless. Something, you know, whether we've been exposed to some of the pitfalls that we come in contact with personally, or information that we haven't been hit with, but it's looming on the horizon, you know, because all of us are faced with these things in this economy. So
Right.
I think that it's just valuable information.